Every sport has its rivalries. Yankees Red Sox, Celtics Lakers, Barcelona Real Madrid. But there's nothing quite like this. Bologna Tech, the self-proclaimed fine dining of college football. They've got better funding, better facilities. They're bigger, faster, stronger. And they've got their head coach, Peter Pesto, a man who once said, Bologna State is what happens when you let the lunch ladies try to run a football team. Then there's Bologna State. They've got grit, grease. It's a little messy at times and it's not always perfect, but a team that never quits. Their head coach, Giovanni Rigatoni, once said of Peter Pesto that he's always looking for the easy road. He's the type of person who just shows up when the oven timer goes off and takes credit for cooking the meal. But long before Bologna State and Bologna Tech ever faced on the field, Giovanni Rigatoni and Peter Pesto were best friends. They were once classmates at Alfredo A&M and both earned master's degrees in pasta dynamics and noodle psychology. They were inseparable. They studied film together, built playbooks, and dreamed of one day getting to run their own football programs. But then came the incident. No one quite agreed what happened. Some say it started over a shared recruiting target, a superstar quarterback named Vinny Marinara, who promised to sign with both of them but ended up signing with neither and moved to Italy to open a restaurant. Others claim it was during a faculty charity cook-off where Rigatoni openly accused Pesto of using store-bought sauce. Whatever the cause, they went their separate ways. Coach Rigatoni founded Bologna State, a scrappy walk-on program built on grit, fundamentals, and a never-quit attitude. Coach Pesto took the flashier route at Bologna Tech, a program known for its cutting-edge facilities, analytics obsession, and a green-colored turf at Oscar Mayer Field that their fans called the Basil Patch. Now every year during Week 8, or Week Eat as the fans like to call it, they meet in what's become the nastiest, pettiest, most passive-aggressive rivalry in all of sports, the Marinara Massacre. Bologna Tech likes to dine with silver spoons, and Bologna State likes to eat with their hands. And tonight, they feast once more to prove who really put Bologna on the map. Hello everyone and welcome back to the Rigatoni Recipe, a college football dynasty played on Heisman difficulty from a former coach's perspective, using the worst team possible. Bologna State came off a 52-13 domination of Navy last week in a game with lost footage, and they're now ranked number 22 in the country. People in the media are starting to give credit to Coach Rigatoni and this team for coming out of nowhere. But that media buzz is coming to a screeching halt inside the facilities as the team must immediately turn their attention to their biggest rival, Bologna Tech. So smash that like button in support of the Marinara Massacre victory, hit subscribe if you think Vinny Marinara should have committed to Bologna State, and leave a comment to let us know who you think will have a breakout game against Bologna Tech. Let's get into it. Now, unfortunately for Coach Rigatoni, Coach Pesto has always operated like he's above the rules. And this year, Bologna Tech took it a step further. He knew Bologna State was on Hard Knocks, so instead of using a normal playbook, one that any coach could study film on, he had Bologna Tech develop what he calls the cookbook, a fully customized, handcrafted playbook that Pesto claims is optimized for human emotion. So when Bologna State lines up across from them, they'll have no idea what's coming. There's no film, no tendencies, no scouting data. And since Bologna Tech is able to watch the Rigatoni recipe, they'll know a lot about Bologna State. On top of this, Bologna Tech already has a really solid team with great speed and great strength in a lot of key positions. Luckily for Coach Rigatoni, he still remembers building playbooks with Coach Pesto, and their rivalry goes way back, so he has a hunch what he's up against. Defensively, he knows he likes running a 4-3 and will typically use a mug front when running nickel. A Coach Pesto defense prides itself on great middle linebacker play, and they've got a great one in Deshaun Dobbins. Offensively, Bologna State is going to run their normal stuff. No cute wrinkles this week, just solid football on offense. Defensively, we know that Coach Pesto likes running smash-mouth football, running with the quarterback, great tight end play, and you have to watch the running backs in the passing game with screens and wheels. You will see a fullback, and you'll even see some Maryland eye. They've got the tools to execute that plan as well. Their quarterback, Kenyon Garnett, is incredibly fast. They have a ton of depth at running back, and Skip Montgomery is solid for him at tight end. Our defense doesn't have the talent to keep up with this all game, so we're going to have to try using our simplicity against them. Our goal is to lull them to sleep on some reads and think they have easy throws where we can snatch them on a trap. Coach Rigatoni knows that Coach Pesto is aware of that cover 3 shell, so they're going to run a cover 2 invert as a changeup to try to bait a throw into the flats. It looks exactly the same as cover 3 pre-snap, so they're hoping they can force a mistake just just in thinking the read is so simple. Between these, it should give the quarterback just enough problems to pause and second guess himself, which could give Bologna State some plays won. They would love to add some more wrinkles into this with pressure packages and man coverage to really keep the quarterback guessing and playing slow on their reads, but they just can't trust their secondary enough yet, especially against Bologna Tech's talent. Against a two-back running game, Coach Rigatoni loves using an underfront. The reason this can be effective against most two-back runs is it creates two consecutive reach blocks on the end of each side of the line, which is typically hard to execute, and it generally creates tricky blocking angles for most running plays with a fullback. The team will primarily use cover 4 quarters and cover 3 from this, with cover 4 being used more in the running situations, and cover 3 designed as a changeup to try to steal plays in the flats. If you're wondering why cover 4 is a good run defense, I suggest you watch my other video on that because that explains it in a lot more depth. We also must prioritize the scrambling quarterback at all times, since that's going to be a big part of how Bologna Tech can save plays where the read gets busted. Against the Maryland eye, we do have to sell out to make sure we have enough bodies to be able to account for all the players that he has blocking. So either a 4-4 cover 2 invert will work, or we're going to run the 3-4 tight, running cover 4 out of this as well, and bring all bodies to the point of attack. Quick update on the recruiting side, since we didn't get a chance to go over this at all last week. Still looking like Bologna State could have a solid class this year, coming off the 49th best class a year ago. They have 3 4-stars with them as their #1 school, and then 22 3-stars that are interested. They're really hoping to add skill, size, and speed at all positions to help make them a more competitive team and be a little more versatile on both offense and defense. So Coach Rigatoni is hot on the recruiting trail to try to make that happen. So here we go. Bologna Tech, Bologna State, the Marinara Massacre. They've got speed, they've got strength. They are a better football team on paper, but football is not played on paper. So here we go. Opening kickoff, you do get to see their speed right away, unfortunately, as this guy breaks it for a pretty decent return. And it's a little bit intimidating as you see that, but we should be okay. They come out in the shotgun and start running, so we're just trying to feel them out at this point. And you can see kind of a quick throw to the flats, so that's something we're going to try to sucker in a little bit later. Another kind of quick throw to the flats, so we're just paying attention to this for right now. We don't have to throw the changeup in yet. We want to make sure we're playing solid. 2nd and 4, able to make a decent stop here. 3rd and 1, they go to the I form, we go to the underfront. And like we mentioned earlier, it's hard to get the edge against that underfront if you're trying to run outside. 4th and 3, the analytics say go for it on the Bologna Tech side, and they do get the conversion, barely hangs onto the ball, so that's unfortunate for us. 1st and 10 for them. They kind of throw like a weird looking RPO play. They end up dropping it. I'm not sure if that was intended. 2nd and 10, looking for the tight end on the corner, and we were there. Unfortunately can't get the pick, but we do get the stop. 3rd and 10, we throw in this wrinkle where we actually spy the quarterback with Mills, who's our cornerback, because he's got a little more speed. 4th and 5, they're going to go for it again.
He'll try to throw and pick up the first down. Got it. He stopped.
And on 1st and goal, they go with a pitch play, and they're able to get it in. So a lot of gambles by Pesto to open the game, and it pays off for him to start. Our first drive out, and we're expecting a 4-3. Bologna Tech comes out in a bear front, and this is 100% a statement by Coach Pesto. And that statement is, we're better than you, and we don't think you can throw the ball to beat us. So we may have to rethink everything on offense, because I was not expecting them to do this at all. 2nd and 13, we try to run some orbit, screen game stuff to throw them off, and they just weren't having it. And then a 3rd and long, usually tough against this defense, and we are off the field very quickly, so not a great start for us. 1st and 10 for them. Again, going into the flats, pretty easy. I think it's time on this drive for us to go with a change up. We go to 2nd and 7. You can see Mills is the spy. Our cornerback came all the way across the field, and he gets hurt. Not our boy Mills. 3rd and 3. We come out in a cover 3 shell. Flats open, right?
Try to pick up the first through the air. Fires into traffic. Picked off. Going the other way, and he's got room. All the way in for the touchdown.
Randall Glenn on his first snap of the entire season coming in for an injured Dakota Mills plays the trap perfectly at 7-7. But Bologna Tech's a resilient team. Coach Peter Pesto, he might be arrogant, but he's not dumb. He's going to go back to the running game, and they're gashing us a little bit. We got to make sure we stay disciplined in our lanes. We're able to win this play on 1st and 10 and get us back in good position. 2nd and 12, we try to bring a little bit of pressure, but again, it's like every time we do that, we leave way too many openings, and they're just too good to eat that up. 3rd and 2, going to try to trap them again.
Intercepted. A first half turnover can swing momentum. Trying to take it back.
So Coach Pesto said, enough of these coverage games, we're going to run it down your throat. So here's the Maryland eye, which we expected to see. We tried the 4-4 defense first.
Running into the open space. Turning it on. Inside the 30. Past the 10. No one's going to get him.
Our next drive out, we thought we could get cute with this Y leak play, but he was zoning it up, and then we thought we had a deep post available, and it did hit him in the hands, but unfortunately we dropped it. 2nd and 10, mid blitz, the pressure gets there just before we can get the throw off, so that's unfortunate. 3rd and 10, another 3rd and long, and just can't get the offense going at all right now. Their next drive out, they go Maryland eye. We go 3-4 tight this time, and the gaps do seem to be a little bit more sound. 2nd and 10, my defensive end had a great opportunity to blow this play up, but he got suckered in on the play action fake, so the quarterback was able to run for a little bit of yardage there. And then 3rd and 3, they're back in the shotgun. We try to bring pressure again, but you see the gaps are just wide open when we go with this. So you can see why Coach Rigatoni has went away from pressure most of the season. They're just not capable of doing it. 14-14 in a very wild first quarter. Bologna Tech comes out in the 2nd quarter with the Maryland eye, and we stuff it in that 3-4 tight. 2nd and 7, under front against the I formation. That's the play, but we just missed the tackles, so that's on us. 1st and 10, I form against the under front, trying to throw it down the middle. Pretty well congested there, so we felt good about that play. 2nd and 10, able to hit the drag route to the backup tight end. They got some good tight ends on this team, so we got to watch them all. 1st and goal, Maryland eye. Trying to change the play. They're not able to get it off in time, so they do get a delay of game there. And then 1st and goal, we're able to get the first stop. 2nd and goal, our corner just never came down. It's the end zone, my guy. Make sure you're covering the line, but it's 21-14. Okay, so offensively, we got to do something. Our only 14 points right now have come off of pick sixes, so we really need to make a play here. Trying to mix it up with the RPO to start, and we get some yardage. 2nd down, we're trying to get the running game going, and it's just not there. We couldn't get the edge of this defense no matter what we tried. 2nd and 12, and I'm not going to say we're giving up on the running game, but we are realizing that if we're going to win the game, we need David DePaul to win the game. So we're going to start throwing from the shotgun here. 1st and 10, we get the underneath drag for 2nd and 8, just so we can get some yardage going, because every time we run the ball, they're just everywhere. 3rd and 8 for Bologna State. Try to hit the running back out into the flats, overthrow and a flag, so we're stuck. They do decline the penalty. 4th and 8, and it's Nick Estandia, our freshman. He's able to drill it from 44 yards out, so not a great drive, but at least it's offensive points, and we're not showing a kick return again, are we?
If anything big happens, you should know about it.
And how about that one? Kevin will be keeping it. Got a little room. Wide open, and it's a foot race. They won't get him in.
Back on offense again, and you could see it just, I don't know what was wrong. We just couldn't or wouldn't block the edge of their defense. It was really unexplainable for most of the game. So we're trying to go a little bit more on the inside on 2nd and 2, and we're able to get the first down. Back to the I formation, and just so much penetration on 1st and 10, so not a lot going on there. 2nd and 9, tried to hit Harris on a corner route. They covered it well, drop it down to the back, not there. 3rd and 9, we picked up the pressure well. DePaul had his choice. He threw the comeback and just missed. So Bologna State off the field again. So Bologna Tech kind of smelling blood in the water now, right? They come out and they want to pound the football. They want to make this Bologna State team quit. They're coming out in a wishbone formation. Quarterback's able to scramble and get some yardage. 1st and 10, again, 2 running backs, 2 tight ends. They come out and throw a stick concept on 2nd and 9, and they get another first down. Coach Pesto is just trying to break the will of Coach Rigatoni's team. They go I formation again, power football, pound the rock. 2nd and 7, caught the safety falling asleep on the seam pass due to so many running plays. And then 1st and goal. Try to run the counter coming back, but Bologna State is there to make the stop. Got to show some fight now. 2nd and goal. They run a play action play. Quarterback's rolling out. We're able to make the stop, but then we push him into the end zone. What are we doing? Coach Rigatoni knew it was now or never to help get his team motivated to finish this game. He pulled the offense aside after that last Bologna Tech touchdown and he told them this: "Men, we've been fighting uphill since the minute we stepped on this campus. Nothing has ever been easy for us. Nothing will ever be easy for us. We're always going to have to fight for everything we get. Everybody falls down in life, but winners get up. So look each other in the eye and remember why you're here. We still got time to show them what resiliency looks like, what Bologna State football looks like. Lock in, make them pretty boys crack." 1st and 10, 1:34 left in the first half. DePaul, deep shot. LJ Young, got it. 1st and 10, next play, DePaul, crossing pattern. Harris, got it. Another huge chunk of yardage. 1st and 10, next play, DePaul, deep shot, Young, got it. Down to the 1 as the offense finally comes to life. 1st and goal from the 1, and we're not able to punch it in. Bologna Tech takes a timeout. 2nd and goal, trying to punch it in again. We just can't get the edge. 3rd and goal, DePaul's got to make a throw. Harris, got it. Touchdown Bologna State heading into the half. And they do get the ball. So it's 35-24. Bologna State on their first drive out. DePaul, rollout play, nothing there. He's able to get a good chunk of yardage. 2nd and inches. We're going to Bo Jackson. He's able to finally get a little bit of space there. 1st and 10. We go with the rollout play again. Nothing really there. We end up actually losing a couple yards. 2nd and 12, halfback angle screen, a nice little play. Jackson gets thrown to the turf. Dobbins was an animal for them. 3rd and 1, we try to get the edge, and what are we doing? This literally could have been a touchdown if he makes this block, but he's just doing a pirouette. I can't understand it. 4th and 2, we got to go unbalanced. Throwback screen and just barely misses the hands of the outreach Bologna Tech player, and Jackson is off to the races. 1st and 10 now for Bologna State. That offensive lineman gets tossed so many times. 3-yard gain. 2nd and 7, looking underneath, and Dobbins is there. We noticed that Dobbins was really heavy on picking up these underneath crossers since we ran it quite a bit. 3rd and 7, not able to get there. And then 4th and 1, we decide to go for it. And no, Dobbins is there again. So this drive could be the one for Bologna Tech to rip the heart out of Coach Rigatoni and this Bologna State team. Short yardage on 1st and 10. Short yardage on 2nd and 7. 3rd and 8, they go with the play action. He's just barely short of it, and Bologna Tech is going to go for it, and they get a sneak, and they just barely get it. 1st and 10, they're back to the ground. They get a few more to get it to 2nd and 5. Huge gamble by this team. 2nd and 5 on the run. We get them down to 3rd and inches again, get them stopped just short. And then on 3rd and inches, the crosser is there. We've got bodies there, but we're just not making the plays. And the clock just continues to tick away. 1st and 10, though, huge sack. Garnett running for his life now. 2nd and 20, looking for somebody. Still can't find it and gets out of bounds. 3rd and 18, he's running for his life again. And Bologna State gets a stop to keep the heart pumping. 1st and 10 with the RPO, and I literally think he could have scored there. We're just missing the plays that are there. Harris on the crossing route, diving catch. It was unbelievable. DePaul play action. We go back to Harris. Got it. Another huge play. Bologna State's on the move again. The offense finally coming to life. 1st and 10. DePaul looking for a guy. Able to find Harris on the sideline once again, and we take it to the 4th quarter. 2nd and 4. DePaul hasn't thrown an interception all season. Goes underneath the LJ Young, gets another chunky yardage. 1st and 10, we're looking underneath and Dobbins is there. So we make a mental note of that and say, we're not going to let this happen again. We run mesh concept again from a 2x2 set, except this time we hit behind Dobbins. And since we've been throwing underneath so much, why not hit him with a whip route on the 2-point play? It's 35-32. Bologna Tech and Coach Pesto can feel this game slipping through their fingers, and just so much time for Garnett back there. They go back to the 2-back running game, and I just really felt like the underfront was there every time. They had so much difficulty running the ball with 2 running backs. 2nd and 6, Garnett looking to roll out. He throws it right over Isaac's head. It's so frustrating to watch. We're back to 1st and 10, and again, we bottle up the 2-back running game pretty well. It's 2nd and 7. They go to the pitch play, and all of our guys are there. We're making plays on that. We just can't make the play. We got to make the play. It's 3rd and 4. He rolls out. We had a spy. He's just so fast. And then 4th and 1, we go to try to spy Garnett. Our corner gets blocked in coverage, so he's able to get the first down on a huge play. It was every time they rolled the dice, they got it, and every time we did, we didn't. 1st and goal, we're able to make a stop. 2nd and goal, quarterback gets in. 5.5 minutes to play. It's a 2-score game. We've got 3 timeouts. It is now or never for Bologna State. We've got to put a drive together here. How does the defensive end stop that? And then we're down on 3rd and 2. We're able to make it with a crossing pattern, so we're getting a first down here. 1st and 10, trying to find the angle route, wasn't really there. 2nd and 10, again, just these underneath throws. It's really all we had. Moore was running for his life on this play. You got to respect the hustle. 4.5 minutes to play now. DePaul throws it to the sideline, gets Young out of bounds. 2nd and 7, we like the matchup in the slot. We never see a positive matchup, so we got to go for it, right?
Throws to the wideout. Intercepted. Big play stops the drive.
The first interception from David DePaul this season, and you gotta feel like that is the icing on the cake, right? 3rd and 4, once again, Bologna Tech finds the answer. 3rd and 3, they throw it underneath. Bologna State's able to get a stop, force a timeout, but then Bologna Tech goes for it. And on 4th and 1, they get it again. And then it's 3rd and 1. They go Maryland Eye to try to ice the game, and Coach Pesto rubs it in the face of the Bologna State fans and punches it in for another score. So Bologna Tech goes 5 for 5 on 4th down conversions and rushes for 264 yards and 5 touchdowns on the ground, largely from their success with quarterback scrambles and the Maryland Eye. Coach Rigatoni feels like this is a game his team could have won, but we just couldn't make the plays we needed to, and Bologna Tech seemed to make every play they needed to win the game. It's clear that Bologna State needs to get much stronger on both sides of the offensive and defensive line. They need more weapons in the passing game, and they gotta get a better secondary so they can do the things they want to do. It's Coach Pesto who wins the Marinara Massacre this year, but Week 8 next season will be played on the Basil Patch. Or maybe, just maybe, Coach Rigatoni will get redemption against this team later in the season. Conference play continues again next week as Bologna State tries to win the American Conference this season and bounce back from this loss. I thank you all again for watching and for your support. Please consider liking, subscribing, commenting if you enjoy the content. We are still considered a small channel, so any support you can give really means the world to me. I'll catch you all in the next one. Finish with the stats of the game. Have a great night.